In this episode, the future of Linux is Google. Archos releases Developer Edition firmware for internet tablets. Dell customizes Chrome OS for the Dell Mini 10V. And Linux CD writing how-to. QuickSurf Internet Media presents Linux News Log, separating the Linux and open source signal from the noise. Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm your host Adrian, coming to you almost live from lovely Phoenix, Arizona, here in Studio BR2 at QuickSurf Internet Media. Linux News Log is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. Do feel free to head on over to www.techpodcast.com. And if you like any of my shows, you'll certainly find other technology-related shows over there as well. Let's go ahead and get into the news for Season 10, Episode 3. From PC World in their Business Center, under the Linux line section, there's an article entitled, "The Future of Linux is Google." It starts off, "I used to think Ubuntu was destined to lead Linux into the mainstream." Myself personally, I thought so too. But now it's looking much more like Google, not Canonical, will be the first Linux vendor to truly challenge Microsoft. Google's migration into the operating system business has been so gradual that many industry watchers have shrugged it off. This talks primarily about the mobile devices, but there's a subheading underneath entitled "Here Comes Chrome OS," and that's where the real meat and potatoes gets. I'm going to read a little excerpt here. It says that now Google is eyeing somewhat larger devices with Chrome OS, an open source operating system for x86 and ARM-based netbooks that will be available for free and may actually surface in beta as soon as this week. While it'd be foolhardy to make any bold predictions about this still unseen OS, conditions look good for Google. Microsoft has regained some clout with netbook buyers by making Windows 7 netbook worthy, but has also managed to disrupt its own success by placing needless restrictions on which versions of Win 7 will run on certain devices, which, if you ask me, is the most ridiculous thing ever. It just is. Are you looking for a way to support more clients by spending less money? Well, you can support smarter with GoToAssist Express. It's brought to you by Citrix, the same people who make GoToMyPC and GoToMeeting. So you know it's easy and secure. GoToAssist lets you instantly connect to a customer's computer so you can fix technical issues right on the spot, which lets you service more clients more efficiently, more affordably. I've used GoToAssist Express and it's great. I can't tell you how many hours it saved me having to drive out to Mesa to do something as simple as fix a problem on mom and dad's computer. Something that would normally take 3 or 4 hours now only takes a few minutes because all they do is call me, I jump on the internet, connect to their computer, bada bing, bada bang, done, and I can get on with my life. I want you to try GoToAssist Express free for 30 days. For this special offer, visit gotoassist.com/techpodcast. That's gotoassist.com/techpodcast. From Engadget, Archos releases a Developer Edition firmware for internet tablets. According to a press release dated this morning, Archos is making Proof of Concept Developer Edition firmware available for its Archos 5 and Archos 7 internet media tablets. Based on the Angstrom Linux distribution, this is by no means a commercial distro, but since you're taking it upon yourself to code the next great multimedia / social networking / productivity / time travel apps anyways, you don't really want to be bogged down by such pedestrian fare. The company eagerly anticipates seeing its hardware platform used as a foundation for creating exciting new usage models and applications that the developer community brings. Pretty neat stuff. Definitely check it out. From eweek.com, Dell customizes Chrome OS for the Dell Mini 10V. A Dell employee has gotten Chromium OS, the code behind Chrome OS that Google released to open source, to run on a Dell Mini 10V notebook. The fact that a Dell programmer tinkered with the code and passed on his findings to others is a sign of how liberating and rich open source can prove, as well as how Chrome OS is piquing curiosity. Still, some experts see Chrome OS as being 5 to 10 years away from mass adoption in consumers and enterprises respectively. The world is, after all, still propelled by Windows. I found this to be an interesting story, mainly because someone got it running so quickly outside of Google's sandbox. So I figured I'd pass this on to you guys. I thought it was pretty cool. From v3.co.uk, Mandriva releases USB flash drive Linux distribution. Linux developer Mandriva has updated its operating system on a stick with the release of Mandriva Flash 2010, which includes a bootable version of the software on a USB flash drive. Available from mid-December, Mandriva Flash 2010 puts the latest version of Mandriva Linux onto an 8 GB flash drive, which has 6 gigs free for a user's own documents and files. So pretty neat stuff. Definitely check it out. From mobi1.co.uk, there's a story here. Access Linux platform phone, the first else. And starts off, the iPhone is sharing the limelight with Android mobile phones, and that is no surprise. These two have totally pushed the standards of mobile phone technology to new heights. 2010 has proven to be quite promising in terms of seeing more new things. The Nokia N900's Maemo will be making its rounds, and Samsung's Bata will not be far behind. Sony Ericsson will be sticking to its guns with the Symbian-based Kurara and its super Android phone, the X10. With all these devices coming, is there really room for one more? Well, that's really the question. The article points out that the folks at Access and Emblaze Mobile think there is room for one more, and so they have released the first else. It's a high-tech device. It looks like a phone. It acts like a phone, but it's really much more than that. It's touchscreen. It has a TI OMAP 3430 processor and 1,450 milliamp hour battery, 32 gigs of internal flash, 3.5-inch touchscreen display, which has a resolution of 854 by 480, which is amazing. Sweet deal for any mobile phone. But you get standard stuff: Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, GPS, micro USB. No confirmation on micro SD slot just yet, but still, it looks pretty cool. They have a video up. You got to check it out. Kind of demoing this phone. It's a Linux based, obviously, but I think there's one more. I think there's totally room for one more. So definitely check this out. From apcmag.com, Mozilla finalizes Thunderbird 3 for download. Yeah, the release candidate for Thunderbird 3 has been posted online as a public preview release intended for developer testing and community feedback. According to Mozilla, editions are available for Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. With this penultimate milestone, edition is expected to be followed by final code early in the next year. So, bunch of new stuff. Check it out by all means. For our how-to section, there's an article I found at tuxomania.net, and it's called The CD Writing How-To. And basically, this is something that a lot of people apparently have a lot of problems with, especially if they're new to Linux, is how do you burn CDs in Linux? Believe it or not, it really doesn't matter what platform you're on. A lot of people have questions on how to burn CDs in Windows and OS X, and Linux is no exception. So definitely check this out, especially if you're not familiar with it. This is really comprehensive. There's a lot of question and answers, troubleshooting, etc., really good stuff. So definitely check it out. That'll pretty much do it for this edition of Linux News Log. As always, I thank you so much for listening and watching. For those of you who are watching the video, you can visit us on the web, linux.quicksurf.com. Shoot me an email, linux@quicksurf.com. Also, subscribe. If you want the audio portion of the show, you can go to the website, and I have subscription links in the show notes to subscribe. If you're on YouTube, you can hit the subscribe button, and also if you're on Blip TV or Vimeo, you can subscribe to the shows there as well. So I'm trying to have good distribution across a wide variety of platforms. So anyway, I thank you for listening and watching, and I will see all of you on the next episode. I'll see you then. Bye.